What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another live stream. It is Saturday. We're going to talk about travel credit cards today and just starting a little bit early. So, this is like our pre show. We have about 5 minutes before we get going. We're going to talk about Chase Sapphire Reserve versus the Amex Gold. Now, I understand these cards are on different levels when it comes to, I guess you can call them tiers. There's a top tier card with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then you have the Amex Gold, which is not quite a top tier card. But nonetheless, I do want to talk a little bit about it. I put out a video last week, and I kind of talked a little bit about the two, kind of compared them to each other. So I do want to kind of put that out there to you guys to see what you guys think about it. And I would love to get feedback on what you guys think is a better card. So as you guys come in the room, just let me know you're here just by saying hello, or you can give me a thumbs up in the chat. That way I know you guys that everything is working correctly. Will, what's going on, buddy? And let's see. All right, so make sure you let me know if there's any issues, audio, video, something. Just let me know in the chat. Usually the chat will stay up for whatever reason. If I have any problems, I can always look at the chat and you can tell me that the mic went out like it did last week or something else happened. What's going on, Lionel? So, yeah, just let me know in the chat. I'll keep an eye on it. So hopefully I won't be talking like I did last time. I talked for like 5 minutes and my mic went out. I usually use this mic. You guys see this one here. This mic is plugged in to power, so it's never going to go out. But last week when I did a stream, I had some issues. I didn't know what it was, so I just put on the regular lav mic that I wear when I shoot just regular videos, and that one has a battery and it went out. Wasn't even thinking about it. It went out, but so things happen. All right, so let's go ahead. You guys are in here. Looks like we have about 9 people, so just let me know you're here just by saying hello, or just give me a thumbs up or something in the chat so I can give you a shout out, as well as I know that you guys are ready to get going. And so this is going to be a video more about what you guys think. So I want to get a lot of feedback in the chat, so just let me know what you guys think about both cards. Obviously, I know the Chase Sapphire Reserve is a top-tier card, so it does offer a little bit more when it comes to benefits. But you have to understand you're paying a little bit more into annual fee. And the Amex Gold Card offers some really good earn possibilities. So if you look at both cards, you can see strengths and weaknesses on both sides. So I kind of want to just look at that and just talk a little bit about it. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. But I am saying that depending on how you look at your portfolio of credit cards, one card you might be able to utilize a little bit better than another one. When I say that, we're not just looking at just these two cards, but let's say you have other cards to compare, or not to compare. You have other cards in your arsenal. So if you have like a Amex Platinum and an Amex Gold, is that a really strong group of card or tandem of cards compared to a Chase Sapphire Reserve and really a Chase Sapphire Reserve? Chase Sapphire Reserve and maybe a Chase Freedom. How do those tandems play a part? So we'll talk a little bit about everything. It's just, like I said, when it comes down to cards, when it comes down to travel credit cards, whatever cards work for you, those are the best cards. And those cards might be something that I might think, oh, you know what, that's not really a good card. But in your mind, it's a good card. And the way that you use it, it gets you to where you want to go. Ultimately, what we're doing with travel credit cards is we're trying to travel, most of us. And that's the reason that I have these cards. I want to earn points, and I just want to travel. So if I can get a card that and earn points and travel to whatever destination I want to travel to, that's a success for me. And that's a powerful card for me. So, all right. So as you guys get in here, just let me know you're here. You can also please hit the like button so we can get some people in here enjoying the conversation. And looks like everything is going good. My internet is good. And everything else looks good. Now, I will start doing more interviews. Okay, so I'm really big on that now. As you guys saw last week, I was able to pull it off finally. I don't know if you guys watched the live stream last week on Monday, but I had some issues on Monday, so I had to kind of jump in and just do an impromptu live stream, but I didn't have the interview set up. I was trying to set up the interview, didn't work. So I did go on Tuesday, and I did a live stream on Tuesday. So I was able to do that interview that I wanted to do. And so now we'll be doing more interviews. If you guys are interested in interviews, just let me know. Like if you want to be interviewed, I'm definitely looking for people. And I've talked to a couple of people already, and we'll start getting that on the we'll start getting that going as soon as possible. But I want to make it more about I want it to be a family, a group. I want all of us to kind of come in and talk about our experiences. I've told you guys a lot about how I got into the travel credit cards and how like some of my best redemptions, things like that. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about. So you guys can come on and we can talk a little bit. The software that I'm using is a really good software in the sense that I can just bring on a person. You guys can talk a little bit, and then if you don't want to stay on the whole episode, that's fine. You can back out, and I can bring somebody else in, and we can kind of talk that way. So it allows you to have people come in and out. You don't just have to have one person for the whole stream, or I can have up to 6 people, which is kind of pretty crazy. I mean, this isn't like Google Hangouts. This is a little different. And if you guys saw my live stream on Tuesday, you'll kind of see how the layout is. It's a little bit different, and I can do a little bit more with it. So I like the software. All right, so if you guys are in here, please hit the like button so we can bring more people into the conversation. Let's give some shout outs now. So if you guys are in here right now, hit the like button, like I said, but give me a thumbs up in the chat or say hello in the chat or something, just so I know that you guys are here and I can give you guys a shout out. And then we will get started momentarily. Looks like my internet's slowing down just a little bit, but hopefully that is okay. So I might be a little bit of lag here. All right, so we'll just start from the top again and work our way down. Will, what's going on? Lionel, what's going on? Tim Williams, what's going on? This is the first time I think I've seen you in here. Terry, what's going on? Mr. Alexander, how you doing? And if you guys have questions, put it at TEC, and that way it'll draw my attention to it, and I'll make sure I answer those questions for you. Ebony Love, what's going on? First time, Ebony Love. I haven't seen you before. Ben, what's going on, buddy? WhatsApp, the WhatsApp group. Let's see. Chloe, what's going on? Jessica, how you doing? Life for Business, what's up? And Nate and Jess. Is it just Nate today, or is it Nate and Jess? What's going on, everybody? All right, so if you guys have questions or anything like that, please put it in the chat and put at TEC if you have a question directly for me. If not, we're talking about Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Amex Gold. I want to kind of know, and I want to get this input from you. I don't have I'm not going to sit here and tell you, okay, this card's better than that card, but I do want input from you guys. I want to start a discussion basically about how you guys feel about these cards because I think they're both powerful cards, and I think they can work off each other or not off each other. I think they can work really well in different ecosystems. So I want to know what you guys think about it. So please, in the chat, just let me know, and we'll go over some of this stuff. And if you guys have some strong points, put those strong points out there, and I'll talk about those strong points. As well as if you think there's some things that are weak about each card, we can talk about that as well. Okay, let's see. Hey, I think the Amex is king. Chase seems to cut people off for so many reasons. What do you mean by that, Mr. Alexander? Cut people off. I know Chase hasn't really made any advances or any improvements with their current lineup of cards. They've kind of been laying low when it comes to travel credit cards, which is interesting because we've seen Citi, the Prestige card make some moves. We see Amex Gold make moves twice. I mean, they put out a card, the Rose Gold limited edition back, when they first did it back, it was November or December or something like that. And then they revamped the whole card and gave you some different earn possibility with the card. And now they've revamped the card again, or I should say, yeah, revamped is a good word. So they revamped the card again, and now you have 4 times points restaurants worldwide. So that's good. But we haven't seen the Chase Sapphire Reserve hasn't really made a move. So that's interesting to me because I think at this point they need to do something. And I talked about this last Saturday. Something needs to happen, but we'll all have to kind of keep our ears open. Hopefully. And I'm a big Chase fan, just so you guys know. I have a Chase ecosystem. Those are the cards that I have. I don't have any American Express cards. I have one Citi card. So I have all my eggs in the whole Chase basket. And I like it. It works for me. I've been able to travel for the last, I'm going on 3 years now, and I've been just using primarily Chase. I use some Citi points here and there, but primarily Chase. That's how I've been traveling. And so I like Chase. So don't get me wrong. Don't think that I'm just all about American Express. I don't have any American Express cards, but I do think that American Express right now, they are making some improvements, and I don't see that coming from Chase at this point. So at some point, I would hope that they do something. All right, let's see. Ebony Love, hey, from Michigan. Michigan, yeah. I have not been to Michigan yet. I do need to get out there. I need to start traveling more in the U.S. Every time I travel now, it's outside of the country. So I need to do some trips in the U.S. Let's see. Life for Business, Sapphire Reserve, all day, every day. All right. So I know we're going to have people on each side. It's kind of funny that everyone kind of battles back and forth between Chase and American Express. You don't hear too much about Citi. There are not too many people that are really all about Citi. Some people have Citi cards, but like I think the Citi Prestige card was good at one point way back, I'd say 2 years ago, even a year ago, where they had a fourth night free, which is a real good benefit. But they're travel partners for me. Just they're not optimal for the way I like to travel. Okay, let's see. Nate and Jess. Hi, TEC. Nate here. Jess is logging in as well. Great. Okay. D. Anderson, what's up, David? From David, Virginia. I took a 10-hour road trip to upstate New York gas station using 5% Discover. Now, how many people have these Discover cards? I have one Discover card, and I know there are people that get Discover cards. I don't really like the fact that the cards that I want to get now are the cards that are travel related, so travel credit cards. So I want to have a set in place, like transfer partners and all that good stuff. That's where I can maximize my points. And I like to fly business class and first class if possible. So I like to be able to transfer directly to United or directly to some of these other airlines, as well as hotels. Like I'm going to Hawaii. I'll be on a plane on Thursday night. So be headed to Hawaii. I'll be getting 2 free nights at the Hyatt place, and I love Hyatt place. I talk about this all the time and on my streams. And I was actually having a discussion with someone today in the comments. Now, just know I read every comment. So any comment, all my videos, I read every comment. Answer the questions. If I know the answer to the question, I'll answer them. If I don't know, usually I'll tell you, hey, you know what? I don't know. You might have to get that information from someone else. But I had a discussion today just about and I don't know where this person was coming from. I don't know if they were coming from the U.S., but they kept mentioning about, basically I'll kind of just lay it out to you guys. We're going to go off topic for a second. So with Hyatt, you guys all know, if you guys watch my live streams or watching the videos that I put out, I like Hyatt. Hyatt is like my favorite hotel. I've been a globalist at Hyatt. I'm no longer a globalist. I'm now an explorist. But I mentioned the fact that as a globalist, you can get free breakfast, but it's not a guarantee. And I mentioned that in one of my videos. Someone had issue with that, so they let me know, well, no, you get free breakfast everywhere. Like if you're a globalist, you get free breakfast. It's like it is guaranteed. And I think there was a discrepancy between the way I see free breakfast is like a full-on breakfast where you go in and you can pretty much get like you'll have buffet style kind of breakfast, but it's still a full breakfast. You have warm food, you have eggs, you have sausage, you have bacon and hash browns or what have you. Now, Hyatt doesn't guarantee you that, because if they have club access at their hotels, they're not going to guarantee you a full-on breakfast. they will guarantee that you'll have either a full breakfast or a continental breakfast. And I think the person that I was having this conversation with didn't understand the difference between a continental breakfast and a full breakfast. And so a continental breakfast to me is, for the most part, they might have maybe one or two like warm dishes, I guess you can say, like maybe finger foods or something like that, like maybe like a burrito roll kind of thing. The last I stayed at Hyatt Regency when I was in Aruba. I had club access. At that time, I was a globalist, and they had two little things that you can open up and get like warm food, and there were burritos. I think the other thing might have been like a kind of like a sandwich, kind of like a McMuffin sandwich or something like that. But that was it. So you didn't really have a good selection of food, and then everything else was cold. It was like cereal, and maybe you'll get some croissant and bread, toast and stuff like that. So that was our discussion. We're going back and forth. It's like, and I'm trying to explain to this person, hey, yeah, they don't offer like a full breakfast. That's not a guarantee as a globalist, which is one of my pet peeves of Hyatt. Okay, I like a lot. I like the majority of the stuff that Hyatt puts out, I like. But when you're staying at a property that's a Hyatt Regency and above, you are not guaranteed a full-on breakfast. I would even consider a Hyatt place a full-on breakfast because they'll have a spread, usually 4 different warm like items that you can get, and then they have everything else, which is fine. That's fine for me. But when you have the lounge access, you usually don't get that. You're going to get kind of just a small assortment of things. So anyway, we were going back and forth about this, and so moral of this story is, if you guys have comments, questions, all that, put it in the comments section. I will read them, and I will try to get back to you with an answer if I have an answer. If I don't have an answer, then obviously I'll try to point you in the right direction. But just be aware of that. I do read all the comments, so please comment. All right. So long story short, I was on Hawaii. I'm talking about Hawaii, and I went there. So anyway, yeah. So I like to use my points from Chase, and I'm getting 2 free nights at a Hyatt place in Honolulu. And then it's going to be a family trip. So then we're going to go over to Kauai, and we'll be in Kauai. We have a timeshare, or my parents have a timeshare out there. So we'll be out there for 7 days. And then I'll be, I'm going to try to put out, I'm going to put out some videos when I'm there. Now I will try to do live stream. I don't know exactly how the internet is out there where we'll be staying. So I'll try my best to do a live stream. See if we can get that to work. Maybe I'll be sitting right because our little timeshare is right on the beach, so I'll be sitting on the beach and we'll do a little bit of talking. This is going to be a laid back trip. This is not one of those. I've been to Kauai. This will be my 5th trip. Yeah, this is my 5th trip, I believe, 4th or 5th. So I've done pretty much all the little excursions and things like that, with the exception of the hike. They have some hikes where you can hike into like Wailea Canyon or something. I've never done that. Don't know. I might do a little bit. I have to kind of, I'm going to look at their excursions. That's the only thing I haven't done, but everything else, as far as going to different beaches and doing they have some different, like a river excursion. And then of course they have the luau's and all that. So I've done all of those. So we'll have to see. Maybe I will do a little bit of hiking, but it has to be with like a guided tour thing. I'm not going to go on my own. It's just too dangerous out there. I mean, it's like 80% of Kauai it's not inhabitable. So you can hike through there, but you can't like live there or anything like that. There are no houses or anything out there. It's pretty much deserted. Okay. So long story short, yes, points. Use my points all the time. I'm using it for the 2 nights there. And then I haven't booked this yet, but I will be staying at the Hyatt Regency in Kauai for my last night. My parents will be leaving on Saturday, and I believe I'll be staying Sunday. And I couldn't get a plane ticket back because I was using points. I couldn't get a plane ticket back on Saturday. There just wasn't anything available. And so available for the points that I wanted to use. Let's put it that way. And I think they wanted like 45,000 points. I didn't want to spend that much, so I'll be flying back on Sunday, and which is fine. I could even fly back on Monday if I wanted to. I don't have to go back to work until Tuesday. But I'll be coming back on Sunday, and so I'm going to stay an extra day. So they have a Hyatt Regency out there. It's supposed to be really nice. I think it's a Hyatt Regency. I guess I need to check. But it's supposed to be really nice. So we'll have to book that. I haven't even booked it, like I said. I was going to book it, but I wanted to do a video of like the process of transferring points over. I did a video of transferring points over with United and doing that whole thing, going through that whole process, and the video didn't come out right. So I'm going to do this one with the transfer, and then I will actually show you how I book, use points to book a flight on United as well. And I'll just have to kind of go over it again because I've done it once. All right. So let's see what's in the chat now. If you guys are in here, please let me know you're here just by saying hello. And please, this is a perfect time to give me or to give the video a like. That way we can bring more people into the conversation. And let's go ahead and move on down. Let's see here. And I will skim over some of these questions. If you guys are having conversation between each other, keep on doing that. But some of those questions or some of those comments that you guys are putting out, I'll just go ahead and skip through those because they might not really make sense if I'm going over there. Okay. Bruce Law, what's going on? Ted Williams, what's going on? Let's see. Thirsty Lion, what's going on? All right, let's keep on moving down here. Life for Business. Okay, Bruce Law, Chase Ecosystem still rules. Yes, I like Chase Ecosystem. Believe it or not, I mean, and what I really like about Chase now, the what I'm a real big fan of is the business cards. I'm a big fan of the business cards. I mean, I have the Chase Ink Business Plus, which is now the Chase Ink Preferred, and I have the Chase Ink Unlimited, and then I have the Chase Ink Cash Card. I have all three of those cards. And those are great cards to have. I mean, you get sign-up bonuses with each one. However, unfortunately, I didn't get that 85,000 sign-up bonus because I got the card a while ago, and it was 50,000 when I got it. But I got the 50,000 with the Chase Ink Unlimited, and I got the 50,000. Well, I haven't technically got the 50,000 yet with the Chase Ink Cash Card. That's the last card that I have, or that I got, and I'm still on the minimum spend with that card. Amex Blue Cash gives you 6% cash back on some streaming services. That's cool. 6%. Now, the only thing and this is Lionel saying this, the only thing about that is I don't really use that much when it comes to streaming service. Like, I mean, how much do we really pay? I have Netflix, but that's it. So, good that it's 6%, but really not. I'm not going to earn much on that. If I had that card, I wouldn't be earning much on that. Let's see. Paisa Gringo, what's going on, buddy? So that's Jason from our WhatsApp group. He was actually on my show last Tuesday. So check that show out. Go back there. It was a real good success. We had a lot of people watching, a lot of people interested. And he's talking about Colombia. He's gone to Colombia, I think he said over 30 times. So he's been there a lot. And he just jumped into the travel credit card game a couple months ago. I put it out there. We have we have a WhatsApp group, and we kind of share information. And I was just sharing about travel credit cards. And so he went out and got the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and he hit the sign up bonus. So he has 60,000 points, and now he's just trying to figure out how he's going to use those points. So it's a good place to be when you have those points. You're thinking, how am I going to use it? Where am I going to fly to? Where am I going to travel to? It's a good feeling. All right, Life for Business, Laugh Out Loud, Mr. Alexander. I know someone that had 45 authorized users, then complained about getting shut down. Oops. Yeah. So some people, and I don't know about this whole authorized users. I was talking to a guy today. And I'm gonna have him on our show. I'm not gonna reveal his name yet. We'll make it a surprise, but he'll be on the show. Maybe he's watching right now. But anyhow, he does talk about authorized users as well. I don't really know how that works. I mean, I know how it works, but I don't know how banks feel about that. I don't think they're really very. I don't think they feel good about all these authorized users. And basically, what some people will do is they'll have authorized users. So let's say you have. Let's say I have a credit card and I've had the credit card open for like 15 years. Never had a late payment or anything like that. I'm always up to current, and the credit is good when it comes to that credit card, and my credit overall is good. And let's say a family member, usually family member, friends, but let's say a family member, I allowed them to be an authorized user, and so they became an authorized user. If their credit is not good, or their credit is not as good as mine, it's going to help their credit, the fact that they become an authorized user. And so some people do that. They'll allow them to be authorized users. Now you don't necessarily have to give them a credit card. Like, you don't have to give them a credit card. You can just have them sign up as an authorized user and just never give them the card, but they will inherit your credit because of that. So some people do that to improve their credit. All right, let's see. ImageWire, what's going on, buddy? Fairfield, California. Flashpoint Capital, what's up, buddy? I was just talking with this guy. He's got a YouTube channel. Let's see. We're going to give him a little plug here since he joined the group. Anytime, if you guys have a channel, just let me know. If I don't already know, just let me know you have a channel. I'll always give you a plug on here. Especially if you're just starting out. I know it's tough, and I'm still a small channel, but anything that I can do to help you guys out, let's see. I'm more than willing to help you out. I can't do two things at once, guys, so it might take me a second to kind of get all this stuff together. I don't know why this thing's all slow here. All right, let's try it again. All right, so if you guys are here, please hit the like button so we can bring more people in. And we're going to post Flashpoint Capital's channel right here. And check out his channel. He talks about travel credit cards. He talks about credit cards in general, or just improving your credit and all that good stuff. And he's got about 30 videos right now. And let's just post this up really quickly here. Now, when I'm streaming, just bear with me. When I'm streaming and I try to pull up websites and stuff, it does take a little bit longer just because there's a lot going on. The internet's pulling in and out and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on here. And like I said, if you guys have questions or anything like that, if you have questions for me at TEC, if it's not just for me, it's for the group, just put it out there. And also, we're talking about Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Amex Gold. Which one do you prefer? That's pretty much what we're talking about. Okay. Nate and Jess, I picked up the Freedom Unlimited to complement the Chase Sapphire Reserve 3 times back on everything for 1 year. Going to use that on daycare, groceries, gas. Should rack up a bunch of points. Yeah, that's good. So that unlimited. So right now the Chase Freedom Unlimited for 1 year, they'll give you that 3%, which is good. That's good. You guys are doing the right thing when it comes to that. Now I'd be interested to see what they're going to do after this year. Or will they push it on maybe a little bit longer? That's one thing I guess you can say that's a positive change that Chase has made in the last year and a half. So if you want to get that Chase Unlimited card, you can get that one. You can get that 3%. So that's good. Okay, let's see. Lionel, there was an article at 1 Mile at a Time comparing Citi Premier and the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Okay, what happened? What did they say? I personally, I still like the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I just think it's a great starter card. And like when Jason Paisa Gringo was asking me what card should I get, that's the card that I turned him on to, Chase Sapphire Preferred. I just think it's an easy card to. Well, it's not the easiest card to use. I think the easiest card to use for beginners would probably be the Venture card. However, I don't really like the transfer partners with Venture. So going with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you get the 2 points back on restaurants and airfare, and it's just a good card to start off with. And then you're in that Chase ecosystem already, so you can upgrade the card to a Chase Sapphire Reserve at some point. Then you have the Chase Freedom cards that complement it. And then if you have some type of a business, it could be a sole proprietor, what have you, you can jump into the Chase Inc. cards. I just think getting in that Chase ecosystem is key. And then getting those cards to begin with is a good strategy, because you don't want to run up against that 524. So if you can jump in there and get some Chase cards first, and then have your Chase ecosystem in play, then you could move into Amex and maybe Citi Prestige or Citi Premier, those other cards there. But I'd be interested to know what that article is all about, or like what they came up with. But I still like that Chase Sapphire Preferred. There are a lot of people that don't like the card, and I get it. I mean, it's almost a card at this point that is it's just handicapped by the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And so if anyone is in the travel credit card game, they're going to want to get that Chase Sapphire Reserve at some point. So you're really handicapping that Chase Sapphire Preferred. And that's one among a few things that I don't like about Chase, is they're not trying to be innovative when it comes to their cards. You're pretty much, you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve and you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred, and you can't use those cards together. You can't even get the cards together now at the same time now. But you can't use them together, and it just doesn't make sense. It seems like that's a huge waste of cards. I mean, and I said this last week, Chase Sapphire Preferred, they need to give us something else with that card. So make a Chase Sapphire Preferred Plus or something else. Up that annual fee to $250. You can make it comparable to the Amex Gold, and just give us another card to have with that Chase Sapphire Reserve, where we can play off. We can have both cards, just like the Amex Gold and Amex Platinum. Give us some type of a tandem like that. Even if it means you have to get rid of one of the Chase Freedom cards, you have the Chase Freedom card and the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Even if it meant you had to get rid of one of them, maybe get rid of the Chase Freedom card, and then have that Chase, the Sapphire Preferred Plus with rotating categories. And I mean, I would be fine with that. But I just think they need to do something, because what they're doing now is it still works for me right now. But I think in the future, it's really going to get to a point where you're not going to be getting new customers, because everyone's going to start looking elsewhere. And they're going to be looking at Amex. They're going to be looking at the Amex Gold and saying, wow, I can get 4 times points with 4 times points at restaurants worldwide. I can get 4 times points at grocery stores. Yeah, this card looks good. And then get the Amex Platinum. It gives me, my priority pass lounge access, my Centurion lounge access, my Delta Sky Club lounge access. So it's giving me more. Like, at some point there's going to have to be a move from Chase, and I'm waiting for it because I want it to happen, because I like Chase. So, all right, let's see. D. Anderson, also, since I am in New York, I opened, a checking and savings account with Chase. So next year, after 524, come 420, I have a relationship with it. Okay. Amex Gold flights. Okay, so that's good, D. Anderson. So he's pretty much setting himself up. Getting a Chase account is something that you should consider as well. Like, if you are, I don't, and I'll tell you right now, I don't have a Chase account. I have our bank accounts. What I'm talking about, I bank with another bank, but I'm just saying, some people they don't know if I get this question all the time. Will I qualify? My credit score, I have a 690 or something like that. I have the high 6s or the low 7s. Will I qualify for Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve? And who knows? Like, I don't know. I've heard people get it at like 690 or the high 6s. I've heard people get it at the low 7s. But I don't know exactly what their criteria is and how they determine who gets a credit card and who doesn't. But I can tell you, if you do have a bank account with Chase, they're gonna be sending you information about different credit cards. They're gonna be trying to get you to get their credit cards pre-approvals and all that. It doesn't guarantee that you'll get the card, but it does give you some type of information, like, oh, okay, well, yeah, maybe I will qualify for that. Or you can go in the bank at any time and say, I'm looking at getting a credit card. What credit cards am I pre-qualified for? And they'll go down the list and they'll find the cards that they think that you're pre-qualified for. So it does help to have a bank or to bank with Chase if you have those questions. For me, when I just jumped in, I just got the cards and I was getting the cards, so I was fine. There was never any need for me to get a bank account. However, you can get points by getting a bank account, and they send me this every couple of months. They send me open up a checking account and fund the checking account and keep the checking account open for a certain amount of time, and then go through these little steps, and we'll give you, I want to say it was $300 or something like that, so 30,000 points for one, and then the other one, if you keep going through all their different little steps, I think you can get up to like $600 or something. So you can get some pretty good benefits, just if you do open up an account with them. Rolo, what's going on, buddy? Laugh out loud, you mean the YouTuber who added all those AUs? I figured that it was a matter of time before Chase closes accounts. All right. I don't know who it is. I don't know if you guys have more information. Maybe you can put it in the chat. I don't know whose account got closed or what have you. But you have to be careful. Like, I just tell people, I mean, they every time we sign up for these credit cards, they still have a right to take those points at any time. If they think there's something negligent that you're doing or suspicious, they can freeze your account. They can take your points. So you can do all this earning and then get to a point where you lose all your points. So be careful. Be careful. Don't try to cheat. Don't try to cheat the game, because ultimately, when you get caught, not if, when you get caught, then those points can be taken from you. So you don't want that to happen. And your accounts can be closed, and it can affect you. So you can be in a situation where you can't get a credit card from them anymore because of that. So it's such a what's the word I'm looking for? Doing it the right way is it's not hard. It's not hard. I mean, it's simple. All you need to do is use your credit cards and then pay them off every 2 weeks when you get paid, or every month whenever you get paid. Don't ever carry a balance, and you're going to come out on top. That's all you need to do, because you're going to get the benefits that the card's going to offer you. You're not giving them a chance at getting your money, because you're paying your bills, that you're paying your credit card off, so they're not getting any interest on you. So if anything, the only way they're making money on you is when you go to a store and you use that card. Well, then the merchant has to pay that fee, which in turn is passed on to the consumer. Let's face it. I mean, when we use our card, the retailers, they understand that, so the prices are probably a little bit higher. Not when you use the card, but just for everyone who goes in the store, whether they're using cash, debit, whatever. But anyway, yeah, the merchant, they make money off the merchant. The credit card companies will, but they're not making money off you. So that's the way that you win. You don't win by trying to do the manufactured spending and do all these other little things, because at some point, if they catch on to it and they want to close your account, then they have every right to do that, and you don't have any recourse when it comes down to it. Okay, Mr. Alexander, what are your thoughts on the Wells Fargo Propel card? Does it use Amex points? Also, I heard the new Bonvoy card has no annual fee. The new Bonvoy card, are you talking about that? What was it? The one that they just put out? I haven't done a review on that card. I'm actually going to do one probably in the next couple of days. I don't really like the Bonvoy cards. I don't. And this one, I think I saw a review on it. I think Credit Shifu or someone did a review on it. But yeah, their cards are just not. all I remember is it wasn't really, not everyone could get the card. There were really kind of strict guidelines that you have. Strict guidelines for you to get the card, basically. And you didn't really get very much when it came to benefits with that card. So I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the Bonvoy cards. Now, as far as the Propel, I do have a Wells Fargo bank account. And I'm not big with Propel. I'm not big with the cards where I can't transfer my points to somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I want to have transfer partners, and I do have a Wells Fargo credit card that I've had for years now, but it's not like any travel credit card or anything like that. So it's just you're earning points, but it's just more of a cashback thing. So I like to kind of keep it simple, and if I can stay with Chase, I'll stay with Chase, and then I'll move on. I will move on to American Express, but I want to know that there's a strong ecosystem set where I can transfer my points. So I don't really look at these other cards like the Propel. I did a review on that card. Check my videos, but I don't really look at those as keeper cards that I would have. Okay, let's see. Aquaman, what's going on, buddy? I'm at the airport now. Cool. What airport are you at? Let us know. Where are you traveling to? Are you coming home? Are you going somewhere? Give us all the info there, buddy. Let's see. Life for business roll. Okay, so you guys talking back and forth. Flashpoint. I recently heard if you received a bonus for either of the Sapphire cards that you're not eligible for a bonus anymore. I tried searching but haven't had any luck. Do you know about this? I haven't heard about that. So you're saying if you have the Chase, if you have either the Sapphire cards that you're not eligible for a bonus anymore. And I know I mentioned, and I don't know any information about it, but I know I mentioned someone was asking a question. They had the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and they wanted to get the Chase Sapphire Reserve, so they were going to do an upgrade to the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then they also wanted to get a Chase Freedom card. And so I told them, you might want to call the bank and see if you can downgrade that Chase Sapphire Preferred to a Chase Freedom card, and then see if you can apply for a Chase Sapphire Reserve card. I haven't heard that. I don't know the info. I can't remember who asked me about that, but I'd be happy. I'd be interested to know if they did call, if they found out. So if you guys are in the chat, I can't remember who had this discussion with. It was this last week, but let me know if you've called or not. Maybe you can help Flashpoint with that question. But I haven't heard that. No. Right now, I have. And I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve when they first launched it. So when it was 100,000 sign up bonus, I jumped on it right away. At the time, I had the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and they allowed you to have both cards. So I don't know what they're doing with it at this point. Okay, let's see. Let's move on down. Andre and Andrea, what's going on, guys? There's a fly. There's a fly in here. All on live TV. What's going on, Andrea and Andrea? Let's see. Great information, David. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, what's up, buddy? So I'm going to have to give them a little shout out as well because they have a channel. And you guys know I love Colombia. And this gentleman is out in Colombia with his girlfriend. So he met a girl in Colombia, and he moved out to Colombia. I think he's in the States for a couple of months, or for at least a month. Ooh, caught that midair. I'm a little distracted. There's a fly flying around that kept bugging me, so I finally caught it. Just like, what was that, Karate Kid, or I don't know. All right. I'm dating myself right now. Let me let this load up. I will put a link on there for Andre and Andre. But anyway, yes, they're in Colombia. He came back to the States for a couple of weeks, and he's going to go back out there. But he lives in Cali, Colombia with his girlfriend, and he has a real great YouTube channel. And this is like one of a kind. I haven't seen a channel like this before, but it's an interracial relationship, and he taught interracial and international because they're coming from different countries, different cultures, all that. And he's out there living, and they just talk about their experiences. So it's a great, great channel. So please, if you have some time, check it out and subscribe to their channel. And let's see, we'll post a link as soon as I can get this thing up. Keep the questions coming, guys, and please hit the like button so we can get more people in here. I should say only hit the like button once, because if you hit it again, it's gonna unlike. So you don't want to keep doing that. But if you have not hit the like button, please do so. If you guys are new to the channel, if you're new to the channel, new here, please subscribe. We do videos, we do live streams every week. So I do a live stream on Saturday, I do a live stream on Monday. I also do videos. So I'll put out videos at least 2 to 3 a week. I've been more on the 2 side. I'm going to start ramping it up and putting more out. And I will be going to Hawaii, so I'm going to have some new content there. We'll do some more vlogging. Whenever I travel, I do some vlogging too, so you guys can kind of see me out walking around. So that might be interesting to you as well. So yeah, it's all about travel. How to get there, so how to make it affordable to get there by using points and frequent flyer programs, as well as when we're actually there, what do I do? So how I explore new places. Okay, so here is a link for Andre and Andrea. Please check out their channel and subscribe to their channel. And this channel is growing really fast. Wow, 638. He's been up for, I think they've had their channel open for about a month and 3 weeks. Not that I'm watching, but like I know it's less than 2 months. And yeah, 600. It took me, and I tell people all this time, it took me to get to 1,000 subscribers. It took me a long time. I'm just gonna say that. If you look at my channel, I started my channel back in 2011. Put a couple videos out and just left it alone for about 6 years. And then I jumped back in. I said, "Wow, this is crazy. People actually subscribe to channels and stuff." And at that time, I think I had maybe 300 subscribers or so. And then that's when I started getting a little bit more serious. But then it took me a while. It took me at least a year and a half to get to 1,000 subscribers. So they're well on their way. All right. Let's see. Any questions specifically for me, just put at TEC, and I'll make sure I answer those. I'm going to kind of move through these a little bit quicker. We have a couple super chats. Ed James, thank you very much for the super chats. I really appreciate that. Super chats. Now, this is a weird thing for me because, and I appreciate anything anyone ever gives me, but it's kind of strange. I've been doing live streams for a couple months now. And I remember when I got my first super chat, I'm like, what is this? What is this little colored box thing? Yeah. So I appreciate it. I really do. It's kind of, it's always interesting when people like you enough to like give you money for being on a live stream. I enjoy doing this. I like being on here. I like talking about travel credit cards. I like talking about travel. It's fun for me because travel changed my life in a sense that I was at a time where I wanted to do something more, and all I was doing was going to work, coming home, hanging out with the friends every once in a while, but I was just doing the same. It was the same routine. And then it got to the point where I was like, oh, okay, I want to travel. And so I got out. I took my first trip. This is the first trip. This is like 3 years ago. But I took my first trip in years. Like prior to that, my last trip was and I'm talking about like a real trip. I'm not talking about, I used to do a lot of Vegas runs. I live in Southern California. Vegas run, we can get there in 4 hours, 3.5 hours if you drive a little fast. But so that was kind of my getaway, was Vegas at the time. So I went to Colombia back in 2008. That was my first trip outside of the country. And then ever since then, I really didn't travel. Like from that 2008 until about 3 years ago, I really wasn't traveling. And then I started traveling again. I went to Colombia again, and then I went to Puerto Rico. And then I started thinking to myself, I really enjoy traveling, but I can't afford it. And when it got to that point, that's when I started realizing, okay, there has to be a better way to travel. And that's when I started looking at travel credit cards. And for a while, I knew they were out there. I knew travel credit cards were out there. And I know like a lot of people think, oh, yeah, or a lot of people now, they know travel credit cards are out there. They know these point programs are out there and these frequent flyer things are out there. But I'm going to be honest with you, at the time when I knew it was out there, I was just too lazy. I was too lazy to kind of focus on, okay, what are these things all about? How can I maximize this? Does it really work? Like I was just at a point where I was like, you know what? I'll just spend the money. It's like my parents right now. My parents are set in their ways. And I talked about this a couple weeks ago. My parents are set in their ways when it comes to travel. And many of us are like this, where we use third party, like it used to be the traditional travel agency. My parents still go through the traditional travel agency. They will call. They have Costco membership. They will call Costco and have them set everything up for them and pay whatever it is, whatever it costs to travel. And now, like in today's age, more people are using like Expedia and Travelocity. They're using those kind of a third party. It's the same thing to me, but they're using those means to travel. So it's more convenient. It's easy. You don't have to do anything outside of just getting on there and putting in the information that where you want to travel to, and it pulls up everything else, and then you just pay. So it's a lot more convenient, a lot easier. But I've learned, and I'm sure everyone in this room who uses travel credit cards can attest to this. Once you get those points and you start using them, it is worth it. Even if you have to do an extra stop here or there, it's still worth it. And then you learn how to travel right. Like you learn how, if I have this credit card, I have lounge access. If I have lounge access, that means I can go and I can relax. Lounge access is a total different experience as sitting in the regular terminal. I don't care if the lounge is a priority pass lounge and it's just like an average lounge where it doesn't give you that many perks or benefits. It still far outweighs sitting in the terminal. And there's so many different things. You can take a shower in some of these lounges. You can relax. Some of the lounges, if you're staying, if you're flying business class or first class, they offer massages. Some of them will have these little rooms where you can go and watch a movie, and it's just a whole different experience. And I just think that people are missing out, and it's unfortunate. And like I said, my parents are old fashioned. I try to tell them. I even got them to get a travel credit card, but they very rarely ever use the points. As a matter of fact, I got them to use points. They'll be staying at a Hyatt Regency right by Los Angeles Airport. So they'll be doing that, which is good. And I think they kind of get it now because they had the points. They have a Chase Sapphire Preferred card. They had the points. I went over there. I showed them. Okay. Or I didn't even really show them. I kind of just had them watch me while I did it, but I don't think they'll ever do it. I'm always going to be doing it for them, but I booked them a stay at the Hyatt Regency and showed them it's free. You don't have to pay anything. You do have to put your credit card on there, but that's only for incidentals or not incidentals, but well, I guess it could be incidentals, but for any type of damage or something that might happen to the hotel. But that's standard with any hotel booking. But there's nothing coming out of your pocket. You're using points, and you're going to be staying there with those points. So they kind of get it, but still, like when you're old fashioned, you're old fashioned. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a little ramped up right now. I don't know. Let's see. Too much caffeine, I guess. Okay. So any questions? I'm going to just kind of move through these really fast because I've been talking so much. We got a lot of questions in here. So if there's anything specifically for me, I will address those. Just put at TEC if you want me to answer a question for you. And also hit the like button. Be a good time to do that if you haven't done so already, so we can have more people join the conversation. Let's see. I noticed, let's put this side by side. I had the pre-show on this whole time, even though it wasn't a pre-show, but that's all right. Okay. Okay, so Aquaman is asking a question. Do you use Clear at the airport now? I don't. I've never used Clear before. I think Nika's not in here today. Let's go all the way to the bottom. She usually comes in later on. But Nika did use Clear. I don't think she has it right at this moment, but at some point she was using it. Uh, I'm I don't know. I mean, I don't really see I don't really see a need for it at this point. I know it's $200, and if you get global entry for $100, you're going to get TSA PreCheck. So, and Clear is only good for the U.S., so it's not good for traveling outside of the country or returning from a trip out from outside the country. So, if you have global entry, you're going to get that re-entry benefit there, as well as you get TSA PreCheck, which is going to speed you through the lines when you're in the U.S. So I don't know. I mean, people talk about Clear, and I've heard some people say some good things about it, but I'm not ready to really move on Clear just yet. I don't really see a big benefit to Clear at this point. Let's see, Life for Business. I'm very careful with Chase. I don't want no smoke. Yeah, you have to be careful when you have these cards, and just realize that those points, although they belong to you, they can be taken away if you abuse them. It's just kind of like a driver's license, right? You know, it's a privilege, not a right. So you can be out driving, and if you don't follow the rules, you can lose your license. Okay, Mr. Alexander, I heard that the person with all the AUs was within his limit for authorized users, though. Okay. Yeah, and even if you're within your limit, and you know what? I don't want to even talk about authorized users. I don't know exactly how that all works. I just know it does seem a little strange if you have 45 authorized users and you're doing it solely for the purpose of improving their credit. I can see creditors being upset with that. And if they find out about it, I could see them making some type of doing something about it. So yeah, that's how I look at that. Jessica, what's up? Let's see. If you apply for TSA PreCheck or global entry, do you have to wait for a card or anything in the mail to use it? No, you don't. In most cases, and Jessica, I would recommend going for global entry. Do not get TSA PreCheck, because if getting global entry, or I haven't said this I haven't said this about 3 weeks, so I'm going to say it again. TSA PreCheck, global entry, they are two separate things, okay? So TSA PreCheck is good for the U.S. So if I'm traveling within the U.S., I can go and go to anywhere within the U.S. I go through a separate line and all that good stuff. The screening process is a little bit different. You don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take your computer or anything out of the bag. You just walk on in and walk through. You do go through a metal detector and all that stuff, but there are certain things that you don't have to do. They do kind of a pre-screening on you, so they know that you should probably be okay when it comes to going through security. Now, global entry is another program. Global entry will allow you to re-enter the country and go through a separate line and go to a kiosk instead of going to a customs agent. So you go through the kiosk, you put your passport on there, you put your fingerprints on there, it takes a picture of you, and then you're on your way. So I recommend getting global entry. The reason that I recommend getting global entry is because if you get global entry, which is $100, over just getting TSA PreCheck, which is $85, you're going to get global entry and you're going to get TSA PreCheck. So you'll get both if you go with global entry. If you get TSA PreCheck, that's all you're getting is TSA PreCheck. You're not getting global entry. So even if you don't travel outside the country, just get global entry and you'll have both. So you never know what might happen in 2-3 years down the road. You might need to travel outside the country, or you might need to drive outside the country. You might, like if I live in Southern California, I drive out to Tijuana or what have you. You might live on the Canadian border. You might want to drive through there. So it's just a huge benefit to get global entry instead of TSA PreCheck. Now, to answer your question, Jessica, yes, you don't need your card. As a matter of fact, when I went to get when I went for my interview for global entry, they told me, you're never going to use this card. So they take a picture of you and you don't get the card right away, but they told me you're never going to use this card. And then he also told me, we'll be giving you a known traveler number. We'll be emailing it to you within the next couple of days. That's the way they did mine. Now, some people have told me that they give them that known traveler number right there. So as soon as they go through that little process, the little interview, And the interview is more, it's not even really an interview because they've already done the legwork. So they've already done the background check on you. So they know if you're a criminal or not. They will ask you again, have you ever, do you have a felony record or something like that? They ask me some questions like that. But the majority of what the customs agent was telling me was just kind of what to prepare for. You get the known traveler number, you put that in when you're booking your airfare, you put that number on your ticket. They'll have a section where it's known traveler number, and that's what you're going to put in there. Once you put that known traveler number in there, then that's when it spits out your ticket. Like when you go get your ticket, or if you do your online ticket, it's going to say TSA PreCheck on there, and that will mean that you get to go through that separate line, the TSA PreCheck line. And then everything else is already set in place. So the global entry, when you're coming back in the country, you just go over to the kiosk. Where's global entry? They'll tell you, and then you just go over to the kiosk and you put your passport book on the screen, and then it will do everything else. It'll tell you everything else. Okay, so hope that answers your question, Jessica. Yes, you don't need to have the card. You don't even need to bring it with you, and you should probably be able to. You'll probably get that known traveler number either at the interview or a couple of days after that. Will, what's going on? I'll be in Hawaii in August, going to Maui. Cool. Yeah, I'll be in Honolulu for 2 days, and then I'll be in Kauai for 7. And so it'll be a good trip. I love Hawaii. That's a nice, especially Kauai. Kauai is just laid back. It's relaxing. It's a good place to be. All right, let's see. Move on down here, Mr. Alexander, Chase Ultimate Awards. Okay, we'll skip past that. Okay, we'll just move on down the questions here. Okay, so Nate and Jess, hey TEC, do you think that Chase will add any brand new travel partners coming up? I don't know. I think they need to work on their cards. I think they need to work on that Chase Sapphire Preferred card. I really think they need to work on that card and just improve it. Just make it so more. Just separate the categories for earn. And it doesn't make, I don't want to keep going on the same thing. It just doesn't make sense to have 2 cards and one card totally trump the other card. It just doesn't make any sense. So just change. One thing that they could do with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, just change some of the categories. And keep travel, because it's a travel credit card. So just keep travel at 2% or 2 points for every dollar spent. That's fine. But make that other, give us something else. Gas. I don't know. Give us something else, because it's just not going to work. I don't think it'll work. Like the restaurants, make it something else. And like I said, I would ultimately want them to give us another card that's a little higher end, $250 annual fee card. I think that would be good. All right, guys, if you guys are here, and I know I say this all the time, but I hit the like button, please. If you haven't done so already, if you just came in, please hit the like button, because doing that, it helps the algorithm realize, okay, there's a live stream going on, and people actually like the live stream, so they'll bring more people in. They'll promote it to more people, and they'll see it, and they'll jump in. So that's what we want. The more people in here, the more we can help each other, as well as get the word out, so we can have a bigger travel family, because that's what I'm all about. Okay. Will TC, the business cards are the best. Yes, so that's Will saying that. Chase business cards. If you guys haven't looked at that, you really need to look at those. And if you make any money on the side doing whatever, so you have a regular job and you're making money on the side, I don't care if it's mowing lawns, whatever you're doing, you can qualify for these business cards. So you should look in there. Sole proprietor, that's what you'd be doing. You use your social security number. So they do run it is still a hard pull, and they will check your credit. They're going to know how much money you make with your regular business, and in a lot of cases, you'll be able to get one of these ink cards, one of these business cards, and they're good. And it's easy too. Like, I have a photography business, so I have a legitimate business, I guess you want to say, but it makes things a lot easier too, because I'm using that for my expenses, my expenses for photography, as well as my expenses for YouTube. And at the end of the year, it's easy for me to find out, okay, I spent this money in business, and then I spent this money for my personal stuff. So it really helps that out as well. And you don't want to really tie those in together. You want to kind of stay away from that, because just for that purpose, when you're filing your taxes, you want to be able to know, okay, this is what I use for business, and this is what I use for my regular personal expenses. Okay. Nate and Jess, I did find out that you can book cruises using Chase points, but you can't do it online. You have to call into Chase to book. That's interesting. I did not know that. I didn't know that. And I wonder how many points it is, if it's like worth it. I'm really, I like to, because certain points are just not good value. I'd want to know what those are. So Nate and Jess, if you guys are doing that, if you're going to book, just let us know, like, how many points you're going to use, how many points they quote you. I'd be interested to know, just to see. And I haven't gone on a cruise in a long time. That was kind of those are the trips that I went on. I guess I should have said that. So I went to Colombia back in 2008, and then I took a couple of cruises, probably three, maybe four cruises from 2008 until 2016. I took three or four cruises, but those were my only trips. And really, cruising to me is, it's fun the first couple of times, but after that, it's just the same thing. Especially if you're in Southern California, usually it's the same boats. They kind of rotate the boats out every once in a while, but you just get on the same boat. It's the same deal. Your trip is on the boat. You'll go to, in my case, the trips that we went on, you go to Ensenada, you go to Cabo San Lucas. If you do a 7-day cruise, you're going to Mazatlan. And actually, we went to Cabo San Lucas for 2 days because there was some stuff going on in Mazatlan, so they wouldn't take us there. And then we went to Puerto Vallarta. But it's just the same routine. It gets one of what I love about traveling, like, to another country and flying out to that country is you're there. You're day, night, all that. You can enjoy all that, all the different activities. Whereas if you go on a cruise, you can't do that because the boat will stop. You can get out, you can hang out for a few hours, maybe 8 to 10 hours. Then you have to get back on the boat, and you're doing most of your partying and all that stuff on the boat and eating and everything on the boat. So you don't really get to enjoy a country. Okay. Kai, what's going on, buddy? I won't put all my eggs in Chase basket. Laugh out loud. Yeah, and that's a, you know what? That's a good point, Kai, that you brought that up. Another thing to think about too, like, because of that, because they have the right to take your points at any time, maybe it is a good idea to have not just one ecosystem. Like right now, I have Chase ecosystem, right? If something were to go wrong with Chase, I don't have another ecosystem. So at some point, maybe start with Chase because of the 524 and then move on to American Express or move on to Citi and have different ecosystems. That way, if something does go down with one ecosystem, you have another one in place and you can still do your traveling and then try to work on, if, let's say Chase took your points or froze your points. They don't even have to take your points. Let's say they froze your points and they're investigating something. You can still travel while they're doing their investigation. So yeah, that is a good point. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket, and I do right now. But that being said, you probably want to start with Chase just because of that 524. Okay, Flashpoint. I just finished my getting approved for the Ink Unlimited. Cool. Yeah, we talked about that. So, and how did our conversation go? I can't remember, Flashpoint. I think you were talking about getting the Chase Ink Unlimited or the Chase Freedom. I can't remember how the conversation went now. We were talking about that because I hit him up. I watched one of his videos. I just hit him up and I said that I can't remember. I can't remember the conversation now. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Okay, Tim Williams. Let's see, Jessica R. Have to wait for approval. They'll email you the known traveler number later. Yeah, and that's Tim saying that, answering Jessica's question about TSA or the TSA PreCheck or global entry. Do you have to wait for the card? No, you don't have to wait for the card. They will send you the known traveler number. That's all you need. And like I said, there's some. I think certain locations, if you go to certain locations, they will give you that known traveler number right there, and so you don't even have to wait. But once you get that number, that's the number you plug into all of your airline when you're booking your airline, your airfare. Let's see. Okay, and then Flashpoint saying, and it's only cash back. So that's answering. Yeah, so it's cash back, but yeah, the unlimited card, the Ink Unlimited is cash back card. But if you have Big Brother, so the Chase Sapphire if you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Sapphire Reserve, Chase Ink Business Preferred, then you just transfer those points up. So it's cash back, but they're going to give you points for it. So you just transfer them up, and then you can use it for travel. That's what I do. I never cash out. I never do the cash back. It's just not. That's the worst value that you can get. So I get these cards because I want to use them for travel, and so that's what I'm going to use them for. So I'll transfer those points up. The Chase Ink Unlimited, I had 50,000 points. I think I used all those. Yeah, I used all the 50,000 points my last trip when I went to Colombia, and I just transferred them up to my Chase Ink Business Plus card, and then I booked my flight. Okay. All right. Oja. Let's see. I only came on the stream to see Brian. Where the hell is he? Brian who? What Brian are you looking for, buddy? Let's see. Aviante. Ed James made out of coal or something. All right, let's move forward. If you guys have questions for me, just put at TEC. All right, Ricardo, I do have a channel. Ha ha ha. All right, what's your channel? Post a link to your channel. I'll open it up for you. And what's your channel all about? Let us know. Okay, Ricardo. I just subscribed to Flash. Good. Way to go, buddy. Yeah, he's got a good channel. I'm gonna hit him up if he's still in the chat. I'm gonna start doing interviews like I talked about earlier. I think it was before he got on here, but I do want to start doing some interviews with just people who are involved in travel credit cards, how to improve your credit, all that stuff. I just think it's you have some YouTubers right now that are big. You have Credit Shifu, you have Ask Sebi, but you don't really have anybody interviewing people. Not too many. There's Wise Flies does this little thing. I was on his channel a couple weeks ago, and that was fun. But I want to just get different points of view of how people use their travel credit cards, and so we're going to start doing interviews. So I will start contacting people and see if they're interested in just talking about their travel experience and how they use their points. And I'm sure they can help my audience as well as help other people that are out there that are interested in getting in the travel credit card game. I think the internet is really changing things when it comes to travel credit cards. I mean, we've had the internet forever, right? But I think YouTube, I guess, as a whole, YouTube is really getting this information out to a lot of people, and they're realizing, hey, I can really do this, and I can travel the world, and it's not going to cost me a lot of money, and I can learn all in my pajamas at home. I can learn how to do this. So, all right, let's see, Mr. Alexander. I'm an Amex man myself. Okay, the Alexander Ricardo sub of yours as well. I have one card travel on my credit card journey from 464. Okay, it's D. Anderson Ricardo. I think we were talking. Let's see. I have one card travel. All right, so you guys are having a discussion. I don't know if I understand exactly what you're saying here. What's going on, David? Dropping a like. Thank you. I appreciate it. At Flashpoint. Okay, let's see. TEC Chase. It's a love-hate relationship for sure. That's Will saying that. Yeah, I think everyone just wants more. That's all, and we're always going to be that way, right? They're going to give us something, and then we're still going to want more. We're still going to want more. But I just think they're just crickets, right? With Chase's crickets, you don't hear anything going on. You don't hear them talking about anything. But you have some of these other credit cards that are actually doing things to improve their credit cards. Okay, Victor Mendoza, what's going on, buddy? When Chase gives points on groceries, I will change. Amex wins for me since that's my biggest expense. Okay, and that makes sense. That makes sense. You get the 4 points for every dollar spent with the Amex Gold. And I would hope, yeah, maybe they should just do something. Chase Sapphire Preferred, give us 3 points on groceries or something. You don't even have to go the 4 points. But we'll just hope. We'll hope until something happens. Okay, Flashpoint. I feel like Chase is also a lot easier to use. Their points compared to Amex. I have the gold and just holding points until I figure a trip to Europe. Yeah, and I can't speak on Amex. Once I start getting their cards, and I can really give you better input on how I think their portal is as well as their transferring. But I do like Chase. I have to admit that. Solid Liquid Fox, Freedom Unlimited is 3 times for a year. Is Chase fighting back the Amex Gold? The problem is currently customers can't benefit from 524. So Freedom Unlimited 3 times a year. Yeah, but I don't know if that's really fighting back with Amex Gold. I really don't. Yeah, I mean it is good. I agree with you that that's a nice little perk. Not everyone can qualify for it though, because a lot of people already have like the what did I? There was something that I was gonna do. I don't think if you have the unlimited, obviously I don't think you can qualify if you have the unlimited already. I don't think you qualify for it. You have to be a new customer. So even if you have a card you want to downgrade, you can't do that because you have to be a new customer. So they are putting some limits to it. But yeah, I would agree with you. 524 is probably hurting their business because they're limiting the amount of cards that you can get. Whereas some of the like Amex, they don't limit the amount. And this is as far as charge cards, you can get as many as you want. But yeah, they might be hurt. I don't know. So if you are hurting, you have the 524, you are hurting. You don't have to have all these cards out there. You don't have to have, because the business cards, they don't add to your 524. So those are kind of set aside. Now, if you're already at 524, you can't get business cards. But if you're not at 524, you can get as many business cards as you want. So that's not the problem. Maybe they have too many other cards. The Chase Freedom Unlimited. Do you really need the 2? Maybe you just have one and do away with the other one, and then change that Chase Sapphire Preferred to something else, and just don't have as many cards as you have. And then you have some of these other cards that I would never get. Like, I'm not a big fan of IHG. I wouldn't get that card. So they have some cards that are just, I don't know. Not on the top of my list, that's for sure. Frank Maldonado, what's going on? Joining from Houston. Cool. I got the reserve with a 692 credit score, 90,000 income. That's life for a business. Okay, so high sixes. So there's someone with the high sixes. Obviously, he makes some pretty good money, but he was able to get the Chase Sapphire Reserve nonetheless. I know they have that credit limit. You have to have at least 10,000. Like they only offer 10,000 and up as far as your credit limit. So if you're not able to qualify for 10,000, then you might not be able to get the card. Okay, Jessica got $300 sign-up bonus for getting a checking account through Chase. I plan to use it for transferring money to always pay off my reserve. We have another bank for primary use. That's cool. Yeah, so that $300 sign-up. I keep getting those too. I just haven't signed up for it yet. I don't know what I'm waiting on. I should just do it just to get those extra points. Let's see. For those of you who have a Chase Reserve or Preferred, what are other people's reactions when they see it? You know what? It's funny because this is Mr. Alexander asking that. Like, what are people's reactions when they see it or feel the card, I guess. I've only had, like, it's actually the same girl, and she's said this maybe 2 or 3 times when I hand her the card, and this is at, like, a drive-through. You go through the drive-through, I hand her the card. Ooh, this card's heavy. It must, have a lot of money on it or something. She jokes. But I don't really get a response from people. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you guys get a response. I don't really get a response from people when they take the card. And the weird thing is it feels plastic, but it's heavy because it has metal on the inside and plastic on the outside. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I never really get a response. Okay. Let's see. D. Anderson, my friend has a 640 Aspirian, one collection, one Discover, one Quicksilver, and one she's got the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Okay, cool. 640. Wow. And then one collection. So she's got a collections claim. Okay, well, like I'm saying, I don't know what their rules are and what they allow. I would think 640 is kind of low to get a credit card, but apparently she's able to get it. So that's good. Good for her. Okay, Flashpoint. I had a bank account with Chase for about 1 year until I applied for their cards. Okay. Yeah, it's always a good thing to think about to get one of the, if that's the bank that you want to get credit cards with, and open up a bank account with them. Okay. All right. Let's keep on moving along here. I think Amex Gold and Chase Sapphire Reserve are both good. Don't have a need for the Chase Sapphire Reserve before, but now the Amex removed priority lounge restaurant access. I will upgrade my Chase Sapphire Preferred card. Okay, so that's Julio saying that. So he didn't have a need in the past to get a Chase Sapphire Reserve. He has a Chase Sapphire Preferred, but he didn't have the need to upgrade because he was getting the benefits from the Amex Platinum when it comes to Priority Pass and their restaurant access. But now that they're going to be doing away with that, August 1st, I believe, he's gonna upgrade that card. So that did hurt him a little bit, but Amex was pretty smart in this sense. They put that bad news out there, and then they followed it up with the Amex Gold changing that 4 times points at restaurants, and that pretty much no one's really talking about that Priority Pass thing anymore. But I think it definitely will hurt. Ultimately, will hurt. It will cause people to do the same thing. They're going to look at Citi Prestige, or they're going to look at the Chase Sapphire Reserve as far as getting that restaurant benefit, and that's huge. And I have to admit, this Thursday will be my first time because I'm making it a point. I'm getting to the airport early because I want to use that restaurant. I haven't used a restaurant credit yet, and I've had Priority Pass for over 2 years now. And they didn't have it back then, but I'm just saying I have not used it yet, so I will be using it. PF Chang's is calling my name. They have PF Chang's there at LAX, so I'll be using that this time. And I will be posting in the Facebook group, which I didn't mention today. I do have a Facebook group, so it's let's see, where did I put it? Okay, it's if you guys go down to the description. The comments, I'm sorry. If you go down the comments, it's in that comments section. It should be the first comment there. There'll be a link to the Facebook group. In the Facebook group, we talk about travel. So we're talking about travel credit cards. We talk about all things travel related. Also, what we've been doing, and I haven't taken a trip yet since I started the Facebook group. I think we've had the Facebook group open for about a month and a half. But anytime I go on a trip, anytime other people go on a trip, they like to post pictures and stuff like that, so you can kind of get a feel for the different destinations. So I will be posting pictures when I fly out to Hawaii and all that good stuff. I'm not flying business class this time. I'm actually going to fly it's just economy, but like economy plus or whatever they have on United. I just didn't see a need. Like I kind of have a rule. So if it's over 6 hours, and this flight, I think it's around about 6 hours. If it's over 6 hours and I want to do business class or first class, I like to save my points for those trips where I know it's going to be tough. Like if it's a 10-hour flight, that's a must. That's a must, business class, first class. But if it's 6 hours or less, I'm okay with. Even if it's like a economy plus, I'm fine with it. I can get through it. I'm not one. I like to be pampered when I'm on a plane, but it's not a big deal for me. It's just comfort. I just want to be comfortable, and that's why I fly business class, first class, for the comfort. But if it's like 5 hours, 6 hours, I can get through that without a hitch. Just flying regular economy. Okay. Let's see. This fly is still in the room. Okay. All right. Let's see. Julio, I think the Amex Gold. Did I read this already? Yeah, I did. Okay. Tim Williams, the Citi Prestige. It looks really great. 5 times air travel and dining, 3 times hotels. Now, I agree with you, Tim. It does look like a good earn. I mean, the card has some really good earn possibility. And the only problem is I don't like those transfer partners. And that's just me personally. I don't like the transfer partners. But if you like them, then yes, this card is definitely a good card for you. They have the 4th night free. It used to be unlimited, actually still unlimited, I think, until September. And then they will be changing that. So it won't be unlimited anymore. So just be aware of that. I think you can use it twice a year, but that's still like the big benefit of that card. Like the card, what distinguishes that card from some of the other top tier cards is the fact that you have that 4th night free. Let's see. Okay, life is a business. Amex always gives me weak starting limits because they only use Aspirian. Let's see. My Aspirian is my lowest score. Okay. And so, yeah, that's weird. How the creditors do that, and I don't even know. I think Aspirian is not my lowest. It's not my lowest. It's in the middle. When I pull my credit, it's in the middle. Let's see. Okay, Kai said, I'm done with Chase. I just closed all my accounts with them. Ooh, I don't recommend doing that. I don't recommend closing accounts at all if you can avoid it. It's just, I mean, you're pretty much, and I talked about this last week as well, but I'll say it again just in case you guys weren't on last week. But you want to try to keep those credit lines open because you get that credit line. So let's say you have $10,000. Credit limit of 10,000 on one card, and then you have another card, another credit limit of 10,000, then you have another card, another credit limit of 10,000. So you have all that available credit, right? And that looks good to creditors. They like to know that you have a lot of available credit and you're not using that much of that credit. Okay, so that credit utilization, very important. So what you don't want to do is just close all your accounts, because if you close them now, all those credit lines, you're getting rid of all those credit lines, and so it will hurt your credit. Just something to think about. So I personally want to try to hold on to all those credit cards if I can. Downgrade the credit cards. If you have annual fees on them, downgrade them to something that doesn't have an annual fee, and then just keep that credit line open. Some cards you don't have that option, and so you'll just have to kind of figure out what you're going to do with that. But if you can keep that card open, keep the card open. It just makes more sense, and it's just better on your credit. Okay. Aquaman, San Jose, California, traveling to see my dad in Chicago area. Cool. Yeah, I've been to San Jose Airport once, and it was a little. I was only there for a minute, but yeah, pretty small airport if I remember correctly. And it was weird that I think the international. Yeah, I came in through international, and then had to walk across the street or something like that to go to the regular domestic flights, which was really really strange. I mean, I don't know. I've never had to walk outside of an airport to go to the terminals, but in this case, yeah, I had to walk outside. I was even shocked, like, why am I outside? Like, why do I have to walk out? And I had to ask for directions. Like, am I going the right way? Yeah, go down there. So I had to walk out and walk down the street. Okay. All right. Any other questions specifically for me? Just put at TEC. And let's see. Prestige for restaurant airlines 5 times. Gold Amex. Okay, so Frank, this is what I use: Citi Prestige for restaurants and airlines 5 times on the Gold Amex, for groceries 4 times on the Freedom, for quarter categories. My PH goes to Amex Bonvoy Business 4 times on my gas. All right, so Frank just pretty much has it all set up there as far as how he uses his cards. And that's, I mean, you have to have a game plan when it comes down to it. Let's see, gas on City Premier 3 times, all else on Freedom Unlimited or Venture. So this is Frank saying that as well. Yeah, you have to have a game plan. That's one thing that you'll learn, and that's why I always tell people, if you want to get travel credit cards, start off slow, because you work one credit card, then you figure out how it works. And when I say figure out how it works, I mean just knowing automatically what card to use. So I know automatically that if I'm traveling, I'm using my Chase Sapphire Reserve at this point. I'm getting 3 points for every dollar spent for that. For restaurants, the same thing. If I have different cards, I might have, I have the World of Hyatt card. So if I'm, for my gym membership, I'm using it for that. So you just know, and you'll get to know like the different categories and where to use each card. Now, it's one of those deals where there's certain situations where I might not go with the best value. I might go with a card that makes sense with my ecosystem. So when I say that, I mean, and this is not a good example because the Citi Advantage card doesn't really, the earn possibility it's not good on that card. But let's just say, actually you get gas. I think you get two. Yeah, you do. You get 2 points for every dollar spent on gas. So I might be in a situation, I don't fly American Airlines anymore. So why am I trying to accumulate points on American Airlines? I still have the card, but I don't fly with them. So I haven't downgraded the card yet because I already paid for the annual fee. So I'm going to keep it until that annual fee is almost up, and then I'll downgrade it. But there's no real reason for me to use that card for gas. I can use another card even if I'm getting less. Let's say I'm using the Chase Ink Unlimited card, so I'm only getting 1.5 for every dollar spent. I'll use that card over using the Advantage card. And then in the big scheme of things, that 1.5 that I'm getting back with the Chase Ultimate, well, it's not Ultimate Rewards, but with the Chase points, is more valuable than the 2 points that I'm getting with the Advantage card. So you have to look at it like that too. It doesn't always, you can't always just look at the numbers. You want to look at the value too. Is it more valuable for me to have points on Chase and that Chase ecosystem, or is it more valuable for me to have points on the Advantage account that I will only use one more time? Actually, I do need to use it one more time. So I guess I could still earn money on it or earn points on it, because I do have points in there right now that I need to get rid of. But so you don't always need to look at the numbers. Sometimes you want to look at where you can use that value more. Okay. Move on down. Let's see, Andre. We love your show. You've helped us a lot. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Let's see, Mr. Alexander. Which is better for international spend? are spending Amex or Chase Sapphire Reserve / Chase Sapphire Preferred. For international, I mean it's pretty it's pretty Chase Sapphire Reserve still. I think it's best, and I'll tell you for two reasons. I like the fact that Amex has the restaurants, 4 times points at restaurants. That's really powerful. The only problem is Amex Platinum is not accepted everywhere. Okay, so Chase Sapphire Preferred Visa cards are accepted pretty much anywhere that you can take a credit card or take a debit card or whatever. You're going to be able to use the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, I won't say Chase Sapphire Preferred because I think Amex is stronger internationally than the Chase Sapphire Preferred. But the Chase Sapphire Reserve, yes, I think the Chase Sapphire Reserve is a better card. I'm jumping around, so let me start with one, and then I'll say my last final thought too. But with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, even though you're only getting 3 points for every dollar spent, you can use it a lot more places. And when you're in major cities, you probably won't have an issue. In other countries, you'll probably be able to use your Amex card. But when you get to some of these smaller cities, you might not be able to use your Amex card. Okay, so that's one of the drawbacks. Now, Amex also, or Chase, I'll say Chase also, they have better travel protection, or like travel insurance. Now, Amex Platinum does have some pretty good travel insurance. Like they will, some of their travel insurance is better than the Chase Sapphire Reserve. But the Amex Gold doesn't have those same benefits with travel insurance. So, yeah, which card do you use if you're international? I would probably go with the Chase Sapphire Reserve when it comes down to it. Okay, Chase Sapphire Preferred is still worth it. If we take the 2 times for travel over the 3 times, let's see, airfare, 2 times for travel includes trains, car rentals, airports, parking, etc. Amex does not have a card for those categories. Okay, and that's a good point, Rolo. But it depends on how you travel, right? So that's what you have to look at in that situation. If you do travel by plane, then that's a whole different deal. But yes, if you do rental cars, Chase Sapphire Preferred is great for rental cars. You're going to get the 2 points for every dollar spent. You're also going to get that primary insurance, car insurance, which is a benefit as well. So it depends on how you travel. Me personally, I travel by plane, so that doesn't really factor in. I don't rent cars. If I'm traveling on vacation, the last thing I want to do is drive. And so at pretty much at all costs, I will not rent a car and drive anywhere. Now, if there's certain situations, when we went to Aruba, we're on a small island. Yeah, I'll get in a car. There's no traffic. There's very few you don't have much traffic there, and it allowed us to just travel or drive out when we wanted. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a big photographer, so I like going out taking pictures. And one of the things I always wanted to do in Aruba was go out and take pictures of the stars. And so I had an opportunity to do that. So we did that. So we got up at it was like 2:30 in the morning and went out, and we're out at the beach at 4 in the morning taking pictures. So different things like that. Yeah, I'll rent a car so we can go do that. Or when we're in Aruba, they have some pretty rough terrain where we wanted to go to this black sand beach or black stone beach in Aruba, and a taxi's not going to take you there. You need to have a Jeep. And so we rented a Jeep and we took the Jeep out, and that was pretty fun. But like I said, there's no cars around. You're driving alone or riding by yourself. And so that was fun. But in most situations, yeah, I'm not going to rent a car. So that's not going to play a role in my decision when it comes to travel. But we all travel differently, right? Some people take trains, some people take buses. So that makes sense. Yes, you can use that card and you can hit these categories that that the Amex Gold doesn't allow you to use. Okay. Okay, Andre and Andrea, thanks for the love. Yeah, anytime, guys, anytime. Like I said, stop by their channel. Andre and Andrea, I posted a link. Love crossing borders, and they have a real good channel going there. And especially if you guys are interested in going to Colombia or South America as a whole. I mean, I think South America, Colombia is the destination you want to go to. It's usually Colombia and Brazil. Those are probably the two most popular. Brazil is probably the most popular, but Colombia is a strong second. I've never been to Brazil, but I love going to Colombia. So, yeah, you should. If you're interested in going to Colombia, check out their channel because you can see how life is in Colombia. Okay, D. Anderson. Let's see. What'd you say? Thanks for sharpening iron. Okay. Don't know what we were talking about there. We'll move on. Okay, so Will saying Visa is generally safer to use internationally. I would agree with that. Thirsty Lion MasterCard is even better. Okay, better exchange rate. All right. Let's see. Oh, I see. They could really stop the party. All right, you guys are talking about something else. So D. Anderson sub to Andre. Good. Thank you for that sub. And I say that as a friend. I mean, Andre's a friend of mine, so I want to see his channel do well. So I am rooting for him and Andrea. Okay, let's see. I lost my place here. Okay. All right, I lost my place, guys. Let me try to find. The screen just mysteriously just drops down on me, and I lose everything. So then I'd have to find out where I left off. And I think it. Okay, here we go. David, go to Mexico City, and you will never go back to Colombia. Closer, cheaper, better food, more things to do, safe, and the ladies are just as beautiful. We'll see. We'll see. I do want to go to Mexico, but I think Colombia is always going to be my first love. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about Colombia that I really like, and I don't know about cheaper though. I've only been in Mexico like in the tourist area, so that's all I can speak for. And I know that's going to be more expensive. But Colombia is pretty reasonably priced. I can definitely say that. Yeah, but yeah, I do want to check out Mexico at some point. Here, Mexico City is amazing. That's Will saying that. I love the lounges for showers. That's life as a business. Yeah, the shower experience at lounges at an airport is something really, really good because it's something I thought I'd never do. And once you start doing it and you kind of get it, like, especially if you're flying, not when you first get to the airport, but you have a layover. Let's say it's an hour, 2 hours, or more than an hour, but let's say a 2 hour, 3 hour layover. And you can go to a lounge and just take a shower. It just you feel so good and revived. You get back on the plane. It's like you're just getting on the plane for the first time. I'm sorry. This fly is bugging me. Oh, man. He's stealing my thunder tonight. But anyway, yeah, so when it comes down to it, taking a shower in the lounge, if you ever have the opportunity and you're not like really, some people get a little weird about it. Like, I don't want to take a shower. It's like a gym shower or something. Usually it's pretty nice the way they have everything set up. But if you ever have an opportunity, you should do that. And you have a long layover, take a shower. When you get back on the plane, you're going to be like, wow, I feel so good, like just refreshed. Okay, Frank, yep, in Colonia, let's see, Colonia, Roma, if you go, amazing food and the nightlife. Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to hit you up, Frank, before I go out to Mexico City, but that is a place I do want to go out there and see how life is out there. Let's see, Flashpoint, it's amazing in Mexico City. It's an entirely different type of energy. All right, cool. Julio Frank, yeah, I love Mexico City. Wow, everybody likes Mexico City. I'm going to have to try that out. Seven, what's going on, buddy? Haven't seen you in a long time. Where you been? Hi, all. Clear is too expensive. Okay, so he's talking about Clear we were talking about earlier. Yeah, Clear, $200, I think it is. When you can get TSA PreCheck, get global entry TSA PreCheck, I don't really see a need in Clear at this point. Let's see, Frank, for Clear, sign up for Delta Rewards and you get the discount automatically, and it's worth it. So what's the discount though, Frank? How much is it off? Mark Chung, what's going on? Which card is great for everyday use, Chase or Amex? Well, yeah, it depends, but right now I would say Amex. I say the Amex Gold is a good everyday use card, mainly for groceries. And it depends on what you do every day. If you travel every day, then maybe that Chase Sapphire Reserve is a better card. But if you're like me and I go to the grocery store and I go out to restaurants and stuff like that, then yeah, I definitely think the Amex Gold is a better everyday card. Flashpoint Capital, I'm trying to get my dad into points. I heard my stepmom say she pays off her balance with her cash back, and I got sick. Yeah. I had that similar response. A friend of mine, and I talked to him about it because he hit me up too. Because everybody knows I get these travel credit cards now, so he hit me up and he got the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and he cashed it out. He did the cash back, and I was like, "You did what?" He's like, "Yeah, I did the cash back." I'm like, "Oh man, all right." You just threw that money. Well, you didn't throw the money away. You still got some value out of it, but man, you could have had so much more value. And to top it off, he just got married too, so they never went on a honeymoon. So that was airfare somewhere for both of them that they could have used. Okay. Let's see. Mark, Chase is good for everyday use. So Flashpoint saying that Chase is good for everyday use. Yeah, and I use my Chase Sapphire Reserve. I use that for everyday use. Now I don't have the Amex Gold Card, but yeah, it just depends on what you spend money on every day. Julio, I have Clear. It is useful sometimes in Houston when it's busy, and especially in Atlanta. I pay $79 only because I have the Amex Delta Reserve Card. Okay, cool. So $79. That's not too bad. That's not bad at all. It's cheaper than the TSA PreCheck, but like I said, global entry. Don't do TSA PreCheck anyway. Do global entry. Maybe do global entry and do Clear if you can do that. 7. Okay, we're talking to Frank. Most people don't fly enough to justify that. Okay. Now, one of the good combos, and I talked about this before, but one of the good combos is that venture card. Getting that venture card and getting that $100 credit for global entry, that is a real good setup. So you get the venture card, you have the $95 fee waived the first year, so you don't even have to pay that, and then you can get global entry, and you'll have global entry for 5 years. And then if you don't want to keep the venture card, you can downgrade it to one of the other cards with no annual fee. So that's a good option to look at if you want a free way around, if you don't want to have to pay anything for global entry. That's a good way to go. Okay. Mark Chung, I was offered the venture card but watched reviews about it, which made me nervous about getting the card. Okay, well, if you're offered... Okay, so the venture card now, they do have transfer partners. So it's something that you can look into. And although I'm not really a big fan of the transfer partners they have, you can still find some sweet spots and find a way to travel with the venture card. And like I said, that perk of global entry, that alone is a good benefit, something to consider. Now, I know other cards will get you global entry as well, but usually they're the top tier cards, so you have to pay a little bit more in annual fee. And actually, this card, you're not paying anything for the first year, so you're getting it entirely free. Okay, Flashpoint, Mr. Chung, Capital One is just not the great overall, in my opinion. Yeah, there's still. I mean, you have. We'll say you have four major banks when it comes to credit cards. You have Chase, you have American Express, you have Citi, and then you have Capital One. And Capital One to me is fourth. So, and the hierarchy, you can argue Chase or American Express is number one, and then it drops down to Citi, which would be number three, and then I think Capital One would be the fourth. Okay. And I mean, Capital One made a change last year too. So it wasn't just Citi and American Express. Capital One, that they started offering the transfer partners. So everyone's made some changes for the better, except for Chase, with the exception of their 3% for that 1 year with the Chase Unlimited card. All right, let's see. Okay, let's move it down. TEC. Yes, I got the known traveler number right after the interview. Okay, so 7's the one that got it right after the interview. Some people have told me that they were able to do that. Definitely think global entry is the way to go, and that's a Flashpoint saying that. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to get TSA PreCheck. It really doesn't. If you can get global entry and TSA PreCheck for $15 more, and then if you have one of the credit cards, you can get it credited to your account. Okay, Flashpoint, I wouldn't mind applying for the Chase Sapphire Preferred or some Amex cards for hotel status and points for travel. Okay, Mark. It's back. They launched airline transfer partners at $75,000. I want the points in my last month. Okay, let's just move on down. I want to make sure I get through all these questions. I know we've been talking for a little bit, so if you guys are in here right now and you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We do live streams every Saturday, every Monday, as well as I put out 2 to 3 videos a week. So we always have something new on this channel, so please subscribe. Okay. All right, Jessica, have you used the Emerald Club executive level membership through National Car? Yeah, I don't rent cars, Jessica, so I have not. Yeah, I don't rent cars. Sorry, I had one experience. I think, where was I? I was in Puerto Rico. Yeah, I did rent a car in Puerto Rico. And it was pretty cool. And like I said, I don't rent cars, so I don't really know the whole routine. But this was kind of a cool setup because on my way, or when I got off the plane, I get a text message and they tell me where my car is, like where the space was and everything. So I was able to just walk right out to I don't even remember what rental car company it was, but I was able to just walk right out to my car, and maybe that's what she's talking about, this Emerald thing. Just walk right out to my car. The keys were in the car, and just get in and go. I thought that was the greatest thing. But yeah, on the regular, I don't rent cars. Okay. All right, let's move on. Would you upgrade the reserve to 4 times travel and dining, and then allowing the preferred to be complimentary, make the Chase more desirable in the consumer's eyes and more competitive? I think so. Wait, what did you say here, Flashpoint? Would upgrading the reserve to 4 times travel and dining, then allowing preferred to be complimentary, so complimentary in what sense? So like what? Yeah, I just think I think the cards need to complement each other, and that doesn't necessarily mean the Chase Sapphire Reserve has to increase their point structure, like their earn possibility, to 4 times points. That just means that Chase Sapphire Preferred needs to have something else when it comes to earn. Maybe have them 3 points for every dollar spent on different categories. That way, it makes you have both the cards and use both the cards. That's all I'm saying there. I think the Chase Sapphire Reserve is pretty strong, even with the 3 points for every dollar spent. I think they're still strong when it comes to that because they have some things that you can't get with American Express. So I think they're still good. I just think that the Chase Sapphire Preferred needs to have different categories different categories that complement the Chase Sapphire Reserve. All right. Okay, so Nate and Jess talking. They're talking about the cruise booking. If you have the reserve, it's 1.5 points. So you're doing it through the portal. Looks like. Yeah, I don't. But so that 1.5. So you're talking about going through the portal, but you have to call it in. I think you said. I don't know. Yeah. I'd be interested to know how many points it takes to go on a cruise, like a 7-day cruise or something like that. So if you guys are interested in doing that, Nate and Jess, and you guys do it, let me know. I'd be interested to know just how many points you guys have to use for that trip, and is it worth it? Like it's been a while since I've gone on a cruise, but how many points, and you compare those points to how much cash you would actually have to pay. Okay. What do you feel about having both the gold and the reserve for using the gold for groceries and Chase Sapphire Reserve for travel? I think it's fine. I would much rather have have the Amex Gold, Amex Platinum. I think that's a real good combo. I already have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, so when I move over to Amex, it's going to be Amex Platinum, Amex Gold. Those are the two cards that I want. And I think those cards really complement each other. But I don't see any problem with having the Amex Gold and the Chase Sapphire Reserve because, I can earn a lot of points with groceries and restaurants with that Amex Gold. And then use for travel, I can use the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And then what I can do is I don't have to book. You can book one-way flights, right? Or I can book a round-trip flight if I want to do that. But I can use those points that I have with Amex to fly out to wherever destination. And then when I'm there, I use my Chase Sapphire Reserve for all of my spend when I'm there. Or whatever makes sense. It might even make sense in some cases if I'm at a restaurant and they allow Amex, American Express, then use American Express for the restaurants. Okay, let's move on. Any other questions specifically for me? Just let me know. Just put TEC. Hip, what's going on, buddy? Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, so here's the link to your channel. All right, we'll go ahead and show that. So Ricardo has a channel. I'll check your channel out too. I haven't checked out your channel, so I will check that out when we get off here. Am I able to save? I don't want to mess up now. I know when I don't know if I could save that. I don't want to mess with it. If I click on the link, it takes me out of this program, and I don't want to do that. But I will check out your channel later. All right. Andrea, after hearing your story, let's see, what was it that made you get serious about it? So Andrea, so you're asking after hearing my story, I don't know what you're referring to. What made me serious about it? And if it's like travel, just getting serious about travel credit cards and stuff, it was the money. It just came down to I wanted to travel more, and I realized I couldn't afford it, and so I said, "Nah, I need to find out a different way." If you're talking about my channel, which I know I talked a little bit about that too. Getting serious about my channel. What made me get serious about it? Um, I just saw the potential actually. And when I say potential, I mean I saw the fact that I could reach out to people where I didn't really realize it before. It's kind of like I never looked at YouTube as social media. I just looked at YouTube as a place where you go when you don't know how to do something. You get on YouTube and you can find the answers to your questions. But I didn't really see myself as being someone who could reach out and help other people and share my stories and learn through other people's stories, in a sense, like social media. And when I say like, yeah, YouTube is a place where you can learn. You can just get on there and type in what you need. But I can also run a live stream like I'm doing now and learn a lot of information, and hear from people that have things that I don't have. Like I'm talking about American Express Gold. I don't have that card right now, but there are other people on here that have it, and they can tell you some of the things they like about it, some of the things they don't. And that's what makes it like social media to me now, whereas I didn't see that before. So just the potential, and it's fun. I mean, realistically, it's just like, ultimately, it's just fun, just being on here, talking with different people, and you're talking with people all over the world. Like I've had some people on here from China before. It's just like weird. Okay, I'm live and I'm talking back and forth with people, and I don't know. It's just it's a whole different kind of thing here. So that's why I got serious. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make a commitment. I'm gonna start doing a little bit more of this, and then it just started, evolving and evolving, and it got to the point where now I want to do live streams. Now I put out more content, and I'm starting to see more people subscribing to my channel and stuff, and that's exciting too. Just getting the support from people, because hey, I don't get it all right. I don't know all about travel credit cards. I know what works for me. I know the stuff that I've used in the past. I'll tell you the things that I've done right. I'll tell you the things that I've done wrong. And when I mess up or when I say something that I shouldn't have said, if you guys correct me, hey, I messed up, or I didn't know that information. I am not an expert, but I am able to use these points. I'm able to travel, and I will talk about that because it's working. It's working for me. Okay, Stefan, what's going on, buddy? Is Credit Karma legit? I don't use Credit Karma. What I use is I have the Experian. I pay the service. I think it's like $24 a month. That works for me. I like it. I get I can get my credit report. I think it's every 3 months or something. You can get the free credit report. And then my credits, like I have my Experian credit. I can see that at all times. And then any changes in my credit. The last credit card that I got, it was funny because when I signed up for the card, before I got an email from Chase, because it was a Chase in cash card. Before I got an email from them, I already had a notification on my phone telling me that there was an inquiry into my account. It was that fast, so they're really on it. So yeah, that's what I use. I don't use Credit Karma. I would say that they're legit. Like I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anyone tell me that they're. I haven't heard any stories of them not being legit. So I would say they're legit. I choose to pay for the service, and I think it's really good. Experian is really good. They're on the ball, and they'll help you out too when you're trying to improve your credit. They're going to tell you the little dings that you have and how you can improve your credit. So that's good as well. Life for Business. Okay, we're talking to Stefan. Hip, what's going on? Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Thank you very much. The Credit Card Maestro. What's going on, man? So you're another guy. I'm gonna hit you up too about coming on the channel to do an interview. Yeah, I caught your video from Wise Flies, then I've seen a few of your videos after that. But yeah, I'm gonna hit you up. Hopefully you're interested in doing some live Q&A in the future, because I'm doing my little interview stuff. So hopefully you're into that. Let's see. Life for Business. Okay, we looked at that. How to build your credit. What's going on, buddy? Let's see. Any questions? All right. How to build your credit? We're gonna talk to you. I talked to him offline earlier, and definitely gonna get him on the chat on the show too. I just want to have an interview. I'm gonna be like Jay Leno or something, I guess, just interviewing everybody about. I'm really fascinated on the stories. Okay, how you got to this point where you either using travel credit cards or you're trying to improve your credit, and you start these channels. I'm really fascinated about that. I know why I got to the point where I said, okay, I want to give back as far as like sharing the experiences that I've had with travel and how I do it. Because when I first started, it was like, and it's funny because your work, your friends, your family, and then the people you work with, those are the people that you start hearing from. And uh, I work, I'm outsourced, so I don't work in like I don't work in the same office that most of my employees work in, or most of my coworkers. I don't work in the same office. I work in another office. So it's funny because for a while, and like I like to travel every 3 months, 3 to 4 months. So for a while on Facebook, they just thought I was out traveling. They thought I was like quit or retired or something because I was always traveling in their eyes, because they would always see me up. He's in Colombia, up. He's in Hawaii, up. He's in Aruba, he's in Costa Rica, and I'm showing all these pictures and doing all this stuff, and I'm posting this all on Facebook, right? And so they just thought, like, where did he go? Does he still work for the department? So but it's funny, and then you start having people asking you all these questions about, how are you doing this? Like, how can you afford? Like, look, we work together. I know how much money you make. We make the same amount. How are you doing this? And so that's when the questions started coming out, and then I started like answering people's questions, saying, "Hey, no, you can do this, you can do that, you can get travel credit cards. I'm telling you, it works, it works." And so then from that point, then I said, "Oh, this is information that people want to know about and are curious about." So that's where I really changed because my channel used to be more about photography, and then I kind of changed the trajectory to the travel credit cards. Still about travel, still a little bit about photography, but more like how to get to these different destinations. So I'm always interested to hear about how people got to where they are when it comes to travel credit cards. Like, how did you get, like, what made you make that leap? Because you don't have to, right? You can travel without it. You can do the travel agencies and all that. But why did you choose to use travel credit cards? So, so I forgot what I was talking about. So I do want to get into doing some interviews. I want to know, like, what got you to this point, and how long have you been doing it and all that. So we'll be bringing guests on for sure. Okay. Stefan, my credit card says my score is different than what my Credit Karma says. Yeah, you know what? You're going to get that. You're going to have credit cards say you have one score. You're going to have your bank account. Like, I have a credit through my bank account. It says I have another credit score. And so if you're dealing directly with Experian, and you're dealing with, like, directly with the three creditors, or the credit rater, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you're dealing directly with them, those are the true scores. And then you can run that credit through them and then get the three FICO scores. But some of this other stuff, I don't know how they really pull their credit, like how they get those numbers. But some of them are different, and I'll pull it up on, like, at my Wells Fargo account. They give me a credit score, and it's usually different than my other credit. So, yeah, I don't know how that all works. Maybe How to Build Your Credit TV will be able to tell us that when he comes on the show. All right, let's see. Okay, so Flashpoint Capital saying it's a credit card travel party in here. Yeah, we got everybody in here. All right. Okay. Hip, why no IHG? Is that a question for me? I don't like IHG. I'll answer it. I don't like IHG. I've stayed at a couple of Holiday Inn Express. Actually, when I was in Colombia 3 years ago, I stayed at Holiday Inn Express. Very nice property. As a matter of fact, in Colombia, for whatever reason, I've seen a few Holiday Inn Express hotels, and they're nice. They're like the top, the top of the food chain when it comes to hotels out there. Not everywhere, but like Cartagena is a good example. In the Boca Grande area in Cartagena, they have a Holiday Inn Express. I stayed there. It was nice. It was one of those hotels where you have the rooftop pool and overlooks the city, overlooks the water. It was nice. So it was brand new too. So nice hotel. But I've stayed at Holiday Inn Expresses in the U.S. I'm not really a fan. Not a fan. Now I know they have Intercontinental, and that's like their high end properties. They have some stuff in the Maldives, so they have some nice properties. But the thing is, you need a lot of points. You need a lot of points to stay there. What I don't like about IHG and Marriott when it comes to the whole Chase ecosystem, I don't want to transfer my Chase Ultimate Reward points over to IHG because you lose so much value. I mean, it's ridiculous the value that you're getting. So it's not worth it. It's not sustainable. Like Hyatt to me is sustainable, which means that if I'm transferring points from my Ultimate Rewards points over to Hyatt, it makes sense. I can use 5,000 points to stay at a Hyatt place, a Category 1 hotel. I can do that. That's not too many points for me. But if it's like a Marriott and I have to transfer 15,000 or 25,000 to stay at night, that's a lot. 25,000. That's a round trip ticket anywhere in the U.S. With exception of Hawaii and Alaska. So do I really, round trip ticket or one night stay at a Marriott? No, it doesn't make sense to me. And then if I really want to, that 25,000 points can go 5 nights at a Hyatt property, a Category 1. Yeah, so, or even let's say low tier, Marriott, 15,000 points. I'm transferring 15,000 points over. That's one night, or I can stay 3 nights in a Category 1 Hyatt. And then with IHG, it's even worse. So that's why I'm not a fan of IHG because of that. Now, IHG is everywhere. Marriott is everywhere. Hyatt is not everywhere. So you have to kind of know, you have to take that in consideration. And in some cases with Hyatt, if I can't stay at Hyatt, I'll do Airbnb. I'm becoming a big fan of Airbnbs because if you do it right and you do your research and you make sure they're a super host and all that good stuff, it makes sense. And you can travel a lot lighter. You can pack a lot lighter because if you find one with a washer dryer, you're set. Anytime I go to Colombia now, I don't stay at a hotel. I stay at Airbnb. And I make sure Colombia, they have, like in Medellin, where I spend a lot of my time, they have a lot of high-rise hotels, or not high-rise hotels, I'm sorry, high-rise apartments. And the high-rise apartments, it's kind of like a hotel. They have security at the front, and you have to check yourself in, check people in. If people come in, you have to check them in and all that. So you have that security, and it's just like staying in a hotel, but you have your full-on kitchen and everything else in there. So that's good. So that's generally what I do. And you're paying, it's like $30 a night. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount, how cheap it is. And really worth it. And the washer dryer. Got to have a washer dryer. Okay. Ron White, what's going on? Is that Ja Thomas? What's going on, man? Okay. Okay, so D Anderson, given how to build your credit, a plug. Hey, that's Monday. That's when I'm live. Actually, on Monday I talk more about travel. So we're not talking about travel credit cards. And what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna be doing interviews for people in different countries. That's what I'm gonna try kind of factor that in and do a little more talk. Like we talked about Colombia last week. It wasn't just about Colombia, but it was just about meeting women abroad. Like, how does that work, and how can you meet women abroad, online or when you get there? Like, what's your strategy to meet women online? So, something that I think a lot of people are interested in. If you're single and you want to travel, or you travel already, you're probably interested in how to meet people. Maybe not just women. If you're a woman, how to meet men. So there are different things that you can do, and we talked about that last week. I do want to do some more with the guest I had last week with Jason, because I think he's really good. He's got a lot of knowledge when it comes to that. So that show is going to be more. Monday is going to be more about travel, like actually traveling. Okay. All right, let's move on here. If you have any questions specifically for me, just let me know. Just put at TEC. So, Mr. Alexander, what's a good beginner Chase card? I would say the best beginner card, and I see Thirsty Lion put that Chase Sapphire Preferred. I think it's a good beginner card. Now, if you are a person who's let me put it this way: if you already have in your mind, I want to go with a Chase Sapphire Reserve, but you're not ready to get it yet. You're not ready to go get that $450 annual fee card. I would recommend getting a Chase Freedom card. Get that card first, and don't even go with the Chase Sapphire Preferred yet. Just get the Chase Freedom card. And then if it's, if you already planned out, say, oh, you know what, 6 months, I want to get the Chase Sapphire Reserve, but I just don't want to get it right now. I don't have the funds to get it right now. Get that Chase Freedom card, start building some points up with that card, and then jump and get the Chase Sapphire Reserve. They work off each other. If you do get the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and like Flashpoint was saying, which I don't know, I haven't been able to confirm that, but you might not be able to get that sign-up bonus with the Chase Sapphire Reserve if you get the Chase Sapphire Preferred. You can't have both cards, so you're either going to have to upgrade to the Chase Sapphire Reserve or do something like that, but you're not going to be able to have both cards. So if you already know, you already have it set in your mind, yeah, I do want to get that Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then get a Chase Freedom card and just start with that. And don't use it for anything. I mean, when I say don't use those points. Just hold on to the points until you get a top-tier card or get a card that you can transfer your points up for travel. That's if you want to use it for travel, and I highly recommend doing that. But if you want to just cash back, then you can cash back too. Let's see. Jessica, how long does it take to get Priority Pass? Ordered mine around Wednesday last week, and I have a trip coming up at the end of the month. What do they quote? Because I can't remember. I want to say it took maybe 3 weeks for me to get mine. I can't remember. It was a while ago. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And I know you might be able to get, because they have the online app. They have the app online too, where you can do that the digital thing too. I would call Priority Pass and just see, hey, is there a way that you can kind of expedite this? I want to be going on a trip. But yeah, I can't remember how long it took me. Maybe someone else in here has information. Let's see. And Thirsty Lion says about a week. Okay, so looked like they sent it out to him right away. Kai, after a while, Amex doesn't even do hard pulls for their cards. I don't know. Is that true? I haven't had that. I don't have any Amex cards, but if you guys have had that experience, let me know, or let us know in the chat. Flashpoint, yeah, they just soft inquiry once you're a customer. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. So your credit doesn't really take a ding. And just so you know, like, yeah, if they do a hard pull, if you get a credit card and they do a hard pull, you are going to take a little ding in your credit. My credit just dropped down like 5 points. I just got the Chase Inc. Cash card, and it dropped down about 5 points. But in 2 to 3 months, it's going to jump back up, and it'll probably jump even higher than what it was before. So, All right. Okay, let's get down to these here. Brazil no longer requires tourist visas. Yes, that is true. U.S. citizens after June 17th. Yeah, that's Ron saying that. And that is true, so you won't have to have a visa anymore. I think their visa was like a digital visa, though. You were able to get it either at the airport or you were able to get it online. Like I said, I've never been to Brazil. It is on my list, but I just haven't gone there yet. Um, all right. We got a little troll in here. Let's see. Sugar Skull, what's going on? A6400 in the house. All right. So Sugar Skull just got that Sony A6400. So he's trying it out. And you got to get some videos. I looked at your channel. You didn't have anything on Sugar Skull on that channel. Put some videos up. Then I'll post a link so people can join you. Let's see. Kai. Pathfinder Amex card annual fee comes global entry $100 airline credit yearly. Okay. I think you're saying I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry, man. Let's see. Maybe you guys are talking to someone else. I don't understand that. Okay, Nate and Jess. Hey TC and everyone. Which airline do you guys recommend to travel to Japan using points? Oh, that's a good one, and I don't have an answer for you. And Thirsty Lion says ANA. Yeah, I've never flown to Japan, so I can't give you any pointers on that. Okay. And then Thirsty Lions is saying that they have the best reputation. I might call Chase about cruise, even just to quote the price. Yeah, I'd be interested to know. That's not just asking that about the cruise. I'd be interested to know how many points it would take. Flashpoint said, I've heard both ANA and Virgin Atlantic. So those are some good ones for you. Nika, what's going on? We were talking about you earlier. You missed it. Okay, Kai. Check out Amex Gold and Business Gold Combo. Okay. I want to interview. You'll get an interview, Nika. You'll be one of my people. My people on my interview. My Jay Leno style interview. Okay. All right. Any other questions, guys? If you do, please let me know in the next couple of minutes. So we're gonna round it out now. If you guys are in here, just hit the like button on your way out. If you're leaving right now, we'll talk for a couple more minutes, but I just want to make sure there are no more questions or anything like that. Had a good showing today. I'm glad everybody stopped by, especially we had a lot of people that already have channels with travel credit cards. And let me put some plugs in there too. I did Flashpoint, Credit Card Maestro. Let me get your link up there. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, I want you guys to check out all these channels, so you can get a lot of information when it comes to credit cards. So you can make an informed decision when it comes to getting your travel credit card. Let's see here. Okay. It's taking a while to load, but I'll just post a few links here. I know Credit Card Maestro, and then How to Build Your Credit. Both these guys here. So here's one. So this is Credit Card Maestro, so you guys can stop by his channel. And then How to Build Your Credit. Let's get his in there. Oh, this fly is driving me crazy. I know. There's always something. If it's not a mechanical, electronic, or something, it's some fly that keeps flying around the room. I just want to catch it, but I can't. He just flies all over the place and flying on me. Okay. How to... All right. Okay, so any other questions, guys? If you don't have any questions, I thank you very much for stopping by. Let me get this last video up here. our last link up here. And there are a lot of people. I don't know if you guys notice this, but there are a lot of people doing credit card videos now, which is great. It wasn't like that always. I mean, there were for a long time, like 3 years ago when I was really starting to get into it. I was looking at the Points Guy. I was looking at his blog, and he actually had a channel. Still has a channel, but he put more content on it.
Hey, thanks for stopping by the channel. Dwayne here with.
All right, Dwayne.
I think I'm a little too close. Let me back it up a
Let
little.
me
Hey,
get
thanks for
off
stopping
this.
by the channel. Dwayne here with how to build credit.
All right. All right, we got his link there. So yeah, there were a lot of people that were involved there weren't as many, I should say. There were blogs that were out there, but there weren't a lot of people that had YouTube channels. But now I'm seeing a lot of channels. Maybe it's just because I'm noticing it, but and that's good. That's good for the market. That means that we're all learning how to use these travel credit cards, and we're all interested, and that hopefully will get us more benefits in return from the creditors or the credit card companies, because they'll see that we're interested, and there'll be that big draw. So anyway, okay, thank you guys all for stopping by. Those are the links. Please check out those channels, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.